Hey everybody, welcome to Minute America Dirt. I am Skip and I have got Geoff Aitken racing with me today. Jeff, how are you doing?
Doing good, Skip. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good. Hey, what kind of chassis are you running?
We are running a 2020 XR1 rocket.
Okay. Okay. And that's the newest model is an XR2, is that right?
Yeah, the newest one is a XR 1.2.
Okay. How do you like it?
I like it. I feel like I'm still learning it and learning as a driver, so that's kind of the reason I guess we've stuck with this one is just I'm still learning and learning the car. So
Yeah. And folks, I will put a picture of Jeff's car up on the screen so you can see it. And tell me what how long have you been into racing? Are you a is it a generational thing or are you the first one?
well, my great uncle and my grandpa they raced for a little while, and then my uncle he got into it in '95 and he raced what they called a bomber class with,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's kind of
I
kind of
remember 'em.
similar to what the pure stock is now, I think, or close to it.
I watched many a bomber at Batesville and West Plains.
And he raced that for I don't know 5 or 6 months, and then got a late model. So I helped him from the time I was 8 years old up until he quit in 2012. So I've been was basically raised around it, and just been around it my whole life.
Yeah, and I'll put a picture up there too. You had a special wrap for that car for your car,
Right.
and I'll put a picture of that up here also so people can see it. And that's what I
Yeah.
saw when which I didn't get to meet you over at Creek County.
Right.
But when I saw your car over at Creek County and talked to your crew chief, Jackson, I mean,
Yeah.
I saw it. So, uh, what kind of motor are you running?
We run a Mullins steel block. It's a 23-degree head, wet sump steel block. It's basically a modified motor.
Okay.
A lot of the stuff, the whole reason we got back into it in 21 was actually my uncle's idea, which, if you rewind back, he raced, I helped him, you know, the whole time he raced. And then in 2011, I drove a crate car for probably 12, 13 races. And after that, I quit, he quit. So I had a little bit of that experience. So that,
Let me ask you a question real quick. How big a difference is there in between a crate and a super? I mean, is it quite a bit noticeable difference when you're driving it, or
I think it's pretty big, which my motor is not considered a super motor. We're just over 700 horsepower. So, and we don't have the, 10-degree heads and all the torque that those guys have got. But it's still, it's still a lot of motor, compared to a 604 putting out, you know, 400 and something horsepower, 450, whatever they
yeah,
are.
yeah, okay. So, how about the suspension on the? I mean, is it quite a bit different your suspension setup on those cars?
It's a lot growing up around it. It changed a lot. You can pretty much take everything we used to know on those older cars. We had GRTs and he had rockets at the end, but you can just about take everything you knew and throw it in the trash can because the way the cars are set up now, you go about it a completely different way.
Do you set it up yourself, or do you have somebody help you? Because I know there's people out there that do that, like setup specialists or whatever they're called. But
I do most of it myself. Um, I've got a couple of guys, that I'll bounce ideas off of, and uh, me and John Kirby that lives here close to me. I've known
oh
him my
yeah,
whole life, so we're real close. So he's always there to bounce ideas off of, and but as far as Rocket helps. They'll give you your smash numbers, load numbers where you need to be,
okay,
and you just, but every driver's different, so you've still got to just find what fits you.
Right. What do you consider your home track? Is $2 your home track?
I guess so. I started when I started in 2011 and raced that crate car. We did that because Centerville Speedway over across the river from us, that's about 20 minutes. They were racing crate late models, so we did that, and that's where my uncle started. So I guess it's just kind of a toss up between those two tracks, really.
Is it still open, Centerville?
I don't think they raced this year,
Okay.
but they're supposed to. So
Okay.
we'll
Well, I
see.
knew $2 around what's it, Plummerville down there,
hmm
somewhere like that.
Yeah,
I
that
knew that
was
was.
that was the track I won my first race at, was
Oh, that's
Plummerville.
cool.
So
That's cool. How nice a track is it? I've never been there. I want to get down there bad.
they've they've made a lot of improvements. It's it's nice for here around here, for
Is
sure.
it a quarter mile?
It's a quarter mile.
Okay. Okay. Do you get up to Batesville quite a bit?
I love Batesville. Um, that and Batesville and West Plains are probably my two favorite tracks. Of course, we haven't got to race at West Plains very much because they were closed last year, and before that, I think we raced there three times.
Yeah.
Um, but
I watched a lot of races
Bates
there.
Batesville, I love Batesville. Still hadn't got it figured out yet, but that's
I hear you. I
that's
heard
one of
it's
my
up for
favorites.
sale. I wonder who's going to end up getting that. That could be interesting.
I don't know. It was for sale, and then they said they were going to keep it this year
Oh, okay.
and run it. So I don't know if that's I don't know what Mooney's plan is there, but
I think that's
hopefully
my. Go ahead.
hopefully he doesn't sell it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's for a fan, like fan experience. And
hmm
that setup down there, I mean, the seating and stuff is just awesome. You can see
Right.
the whole track. You can put your legs out and relax. I mean, you got stadium seating, with
hmm
armrest all through the place if you don't want to go sit in the launch area. I mean, fan wise, that's one of my favorite places to watch a race. It really
And
is.
the way the track sits between kind of in that valley there, the sound just echoes, and it's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Beautiful country too, man, down there. I mean, just absolutely beautiful down there. I love it. We went down there for the topless last year, and there is no real good way to get to Batesville from Northeast Oklahoma.
Mm.
And we ended up going through Marshall and got going in between Marshall and Mountain View. And I think I made everybody in the vehicle sick. I mean, there's just,
Yeah.
unless you go all the way over to, like Hardy and down that way, there's just no good way to get there. And even then, you're still going to have to go through a bunch of curves probably.
Right.
But, so you're running the Rev series this year, or are you just picking and choosing that?
I'm kind of just picking and choosing, going when and where we can. Um, we've run a couple of times. We've run the Titan Legends late model series. It's a steel block series that races just right here in Arkansas. Um,
I don't know anything about that. I'm going to check that
we've
out.
we've raced it mostly. Won their points deal last year and in
Cool.
22. But this year I'm just kind of, you know, going when and where, trying to see new
Right.
tracks, you know,
What'd you
trying
think
to,
about Creek County?
I liked it. It was, it's small. It's small,
I
but
heard it was slick too.
it was real slick. It was real slick. But yeah, it was pretty nice facility, nice place. Not a bad drive from here.
It's
I think
really
it was,
not. I mean,
it's only
really
about
not.
3 hours for us. So
Yeah. So, if there was any track, I'm going to ask you some fan questions. If there's any
okay.
track you could choose to race on, no matter where, like if you could just show up and race on it, where would be your most your favorite track that you want to go race on, no matter where it is.
That's a hard one because there's a lot of tracks that I haven't raced at that I would like to race at. That they look fun and they look like great tracks. Um, I would say as far as the most fun to drive so far, probably West Plains.
Okay.
If we had that track at you know an hour from the house, there wouldn't be a reason to go anywhere else. But
Yeah,
it
I mean,
just
I love watching races there, man. I really
it
did.
just when it's
That
hooked
and
up, it's
Batesville
hooked up.
and flipping. Hey, have you ever raced at flipping?
I have
How you
a
like
couple
it?
times. It's different. I like it.
I heard it's
We
like a paperclip.
It is long straightaways, tight corners. We actually went up there earlier in the year, and it was it's pretty good track.
Yeah, yeah. I used to watch. We used to watch late model races there when I was a kid. They were Granger Select. It was like a chewing tobacco that was sponsored that race when I was a kid. And man, I saw Bill Fry there, Billy Moyer, Wendell Wallace, all the big guys racing it, flipping. I mean,
Hmm.
I just didn't appreciate what I was watching. You know what I mean? I was young and just didn't realize how cool that was.
Yeah.
That was cool.
We When my uncle raced, he raced the Mars Series whenever Mooney started that back in the early 2000s. So
Yeah.
we raced it flipping a couple of times with that. So it's it's been pretty cool to go back and race on tracks that we went to when I was growing up and
Yeah.
be able to race on the same tracks. It's been cool.
Yeah, I want to get down there, man. I want to get down there flipping West Plains and stuff and do some track walks or whatever and some tours of those places hopefully soon. But so you crew chiefed for your uncle, is that correct?
I don't know if you call it crew chief. It's just kind of crew chief by committee. There
I
was
gotcha.
two or three of us,
I mean,
and
how much, go ahead.
we would, me and uh, the other guys, we got to where we learned him so good and his driving style so good, we could we could watch him on the racetrack and knew what he was going to tell us when he came back in. And there was a lot of times he probably would have done better if he'd had better help. But there's a lot of times he'd tell us what the car was doing, and you know we'd fix it. So
Yeah.
that's what I really like, is just the challenge of working on the cars, trying to get them right.
I mean,
And
did it get you ready for your own?
oh yeah, yeah. It kind of, which I guess I'm pretty fortunate, to say the least, because I've never drove anything but a late model. I've never drove a factory stock or anything like that. So, but all that kind of helped me know what to expect. You know, I could tell
Yeah.
you, I could tell somebody how to drive the car, but
Right.
just what little bit I knew, just watching and learning and helping, kind of helped me be ready. And now I get to see it from both sides.
Right.
So
Well, let me ask you this question. I'm going to ask everybody I talk to about this. How awesome is it to drive a race car?
there's nothing like it. Nothing like it.
I bet.
Especially, little boy growing up, that's what you want to do.
Yes.
It
Yeah, it
was
is.
it's pretty awesome. And when I quit, and after that year in 2011 when I raced a little bit, I didn't think I'd ever get to race again. Didn't think I ever would. So whenever we put this deal together, it's pretty awesome getting a second chance.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not cheap getting into that stuff either, is it? I mean,
Not at all. Not at all.
I
Not
mean,
at all. And
it costs a lot of money to get out there and do what you love. And I mean, I just appreciate you that you guys do it, man. I mean, because that's kind of what I'm doing is trying to get people out to racetracks to. I mean, and there are local tracks. No matter
Hmm.
where you're at in the country, you're probably there's going to be a dirt track around you somewhere,
Right.
and it's way better than going to a movie. I mean, you can
Yeah.
pay to go to a movie for a couple hours, or you can pay movie and pay $20, $30, and go watch hours worth of racing, and it's just
Hmm.
it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, how does it feel like when you come around that feature race? When you come around turn four, headed to that green flag, man, that's got to be awesome because
It's
in the stands you feel that rumble. I
no.
mean, you just feel it. You can feel it,
There's
smell it. I mean, it's just awesome.
it's a feeling that you can't describe. And I wish that I could take like everybody I know, everybody in my family. I wish they could go ride with me and feel that feeling, because it's not like anything else.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, so another question is, and I'm going to ask this too. What is to everybody? When is a good time? Like if fans come, and for fans that don't know, when you go to a race, you can go to the grandstands, or you can get a pit pass and walk around in the pits and see what these guys do, and see their cars up close and stuff like that. So if a fan wants to get a pit pass and come in there and see you, get an autograph, look at your car, buy a T-shirt, when is the best time? Before, during? I'm gonna say probably not during, before or after a race.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, anytime,
Okay,
unless you come up to the trailer and we're under the car working or, trying to fix damage from a wreck, you know, most of the most of the races we run are pretty laid back. We're not in a huge rush unless it's a comp cam show or whatever. Um, they move things along real quick, but yeah, most of the
yeah,
time, I know guys don't like being bothered right before they get in the car, but
right.
if you see us there and if we're just hanging around talking, you know, come see us.
Which you weren't that day I saw you over there. You were under that car working, and
Yeah,
most of those guys were, man. I mean, it looked. I've told this story before, but Jimmy Van Zandt, I mean, he said, come back here to the pit and hang out, and I went back there after I think it was qualifying, and man, those dudes were busy. I mean, nonstop till he won, and I'm just sitting there like, whoo, here,
yeah, that
you want some help? They're like, no, no, we got it. I like, okay, kind of, these guys working their butts off, you kind of just,
hmm
you know,
that
I don't know what I'm doing, but if you need me to go grab something, I'll do it. But yeah, I mean, it looked like everybody was busy, that
that
night.
was a
So
fast
that's
night.
just, yeah. Well, I mean, it was just factory stocks too, right? I think it was
Hmm.
just you guys in factory stocks.
Right.
See, yeah, it moved along, and I've asked this before, but it helps you guys out. I know people, what do they call it, getting held hostage. I know a lot of people don't want 4 or 5 classes, but sometimes that helps you guys out if
Yeah.
you're in a big race and you need to work on something.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes it's nice, as long as the tracks don't put in. I've been some places where they'll run 6, 7 classes, and you're there till 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, uh,
Yep,
if we can get out
that's
of there
tough.
by 11, 12 o'clock at the latest, it's a good night.
Yep. Now, I mean, normally, if you have to go somewhere, I don't know how far you go for sure, but if you have to go somewhere, let's say like Creek County or somewhere like that, or if you run up into Kansas or somewhere, I mean, do you normally drive up there that day and then just drive home that night? How does that work?
We normally our deal's always kind of been if we don't go anywhere we can't drive home from. And I've got a wife, 2 kids, and
You're right.
so we try not to be gone, because I don't want that to happen. So actually, the weekend that weekend with Creek County and Lawton was I think that was the first time we stayed overnight since I started back in
Lot
21.
Lawton's way out there.
We stayed after Creek County, and then we raced Lawton Saturday night, and then drove home.
How long did it take
We
you to get
got
from Lawton back to Pottsville?
It's about 5 hours. We got home at 6:30 Sunday morning,
Ooh,
but
ooh.
it was kind of a freak night. They had trouble with their scoring loop and track issues, and it was 10 o'clock down there before we ran heat races. So it was just kind of a one of those things that happens. But
I gotcha. Now, when you get back home, normally Sunday or Monday is probably your wash day, right? You wash those things head to toe, don't you?
head to toe, take them apart. Um, Normally it's me and my son and my grandpa. He comes to help us, and either usually Sunday or Monday we'll have it washed, put back in the shop, and then we'll start. We'll work on it on the evenings through the week whenever I can, and 2 or 3 nights a week, and we'll have it ready to go by Friday.
Normally, how long does it take you to wash that thing up?
Usually I can have everything washed in a couple of hours. Car, tires, uh, try and keep the rugs in our trailer, cleaned up and washed.
Right.
Uh, After Lawton took a little bit longer. That
Pretty
red
muddy.
dirt, it took a little bit longer,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
usually 2 or 3 hours tops.
Okay. Okay. And for
It's
people who
just
don't
the
know, go ahead.
it's just the whole process of taking the car apart, and getting
Yeah.
everything
Well,
ready
like,
ready to wash
for,
is what kind of drags it out.
well, for people who don't know, I mean, what do you have to do? So you take the wheels off. What else do you do?
We take all the tires off. The Our right side door comes off every week. It's bolted on. Uh, some people don't. We do, just so you can get everything and wash it.
Get into that frame, get that frame
Right.
washed off, and all that stuff, and
I've
check
always
because you have
been
to check. Go ahead.
I've always been not necessarily a clean freak, but you know, it's if you're going to work under a race car, you want it to be clean. You don't want to, get last week's mud on you or whatever. So
I hear you because you got to go underneath there, and I mean, a lot. You'll check, and make sure everything's tight, and just
uh,
make sure
every
everything's.
every nut and bolt every week.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Um, so you set up your own shocks, is that right? Do you have adjustable shocks?
I do. We run Penske shocks.
Okay.
They're adjustable compression and rebound. Um, I don't do the shock work. We send them off to Penske, but as far as the spring setup and all that, I do all that.
Okay, but you can't adjust them, right?
Hmm.
Where you want them.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Just about
And
every time you go out, you're you're adjusting something because if you have to stay up with the racetrack.
right, and you may have to adjust things at that track, like while you're there, right? Like if you don't
Right.
like something, you may have to tweak it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I
And
mean it is. It's like a science.
sometimes you can kind of outguess yourself if you're not careful. Um, like Creek County, for instance, we went out second quick and hot laps, and I tried to outguess what the track was going to do, and just over adjusted. Which it's not hard to do. 2 or 3 clicks on a shock can take you from second quick to sixth quick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean it's. From what I understand, it's really super important. Maybe depending on what track you're on, like a short track, I guess it's that setup is way more important. Well, not way more, a bit more important than your motor. And
Right.
on a big
It's
track, it's kind of, I mean, it's both.
hmm we which we try and run races with some of the open motors, super motors, and the biggest place I see the difference is on takeoff, um, on starts, and then in qualifying when it's real hammered down. That's uh that's usually where motor will get you. But whenever it slicks off, those guys are restricting their motors down anyway, so they've still got they've still got the torque you don't have, but it's still competitive, I guess.
Right. Right. Well, let me. There's something else I wanted to ask you too. So, yeah, I've asked a couple of guys this, and it's always the same question. Do you have beef with anybody in the pits? Like, is there somebody you don't get along with, or no names, but do you have like somebody that you're really ultra competitive with?
Not really. I feel like I'm easy to get along with. There's
That's what everybody
um,
says.
if there's a couple of guys that have run into me a few times, and that's I try and race people how I want to be raced. So I don't like tearing up my cars. I don't like tearing up other people's cars.
Right.
Um,
Sometimes there's nothing you can do about it, though, isn't there?
I actually I did have a not really a beef. Kind of got into it with another driver last year, and I was I'd had a bad couple of weeks and been run over by a couple of different guys. Just door slammed and all that, and um, actually run into run into him after the races one night, coming to the scales, and we had a pretty good discussion after. But it now we give each other a hard time, and everything's
Right.
good, and so
Right. Right.
usually everybody
Yeah, I
gets
just
along good.
didn't. I like to ask that question to see if there's, like I said, you guys usually give the same answer, pretty much, and just see if there's any like long running, issues that people have with anybody else, because people want to know that stuff. So, I mean, not
Yeah,
specifics, but just to see how that works, because I mean, it gets tense out there, right? I
it
mean,
does.
there's money on the line. It gets tense. You guys are yay far apart or however far apart going through corners and
Yeah,
fast. I mean,
yeah.
fast. You
Stuff
guys are rolling.
happens. Stuff happens, but for the most part, everybody that races in late models, they're clean drivers. There's too much money tied up to be banking off of each other and all that stuff. So
Well, Geoff, we are going to talk about something now, and I'll put this up on the screen so people can see it. You have a smoking hot racing T-shirt that
thank
you're
you.
going to have a talk with crew chief about. He didn't tell me about that when I was over there, because I would have got it then. But this racing T-shirt is awesome. I love it. I'm going to definitely get one. And if people want to get your racing T-shirt, they need to go and do what?
They can go
Facebook.
to our Facebook page, Geoff Aitken Racing, and send us a message, and we'll get back to them and get them set up.
Okay, and you can ship those out to anybody here in the U.S., I would assume.
Yes, sir.
So people, you see this racing T-shirt, it's nice. I love it. It's smoking hot. So if you get a chance, get a hold of them, get you one of these things. It's nice, and they can ship it out to you. And also, Geoff, do you have sponsors that you want to thank? Because I know that's important to you guys.
I do. I've got a lot of people that help me. If they didn't, I wouldn't be here. Uh, Doug's Electrical Service. They're on the door of my car, back over my shoulder. Uh, that's actually my uncle and my mom, my grandpa. They they help a ton. Um, and then
What area? What
Kirby,
area are they in?
they're in Russellville.
Okay.
They're about 10 minutes from me. So I got them, and then Kirby Specialties, John Kirby. He drives the red 11. Um, he lives just up the road from us too, and he's helped me a ton. As far as uh, just parts, help. Somebody to bounce stuff ideas off of. Um, and then we've got 501 powder coating, Alan Brown. He's in Greenbrier. Uh, he does a super job. And then digital alarm systems. Uh, we got Bill Fry Motorsports. He actually did the
I used
body
to
on our
watch that guy a
car.
lot when I was a kid.
Yeah, he did the body on our car for us this winter, and so he helps us. And then Construction Resources Group, Bear Graphics, Brandon Givens, he done our wrap this year, done our shirts, does awesome work. And
Yeah, he did a great job. That t-shirt smoking hot for real.
He's been good to work with. Let me think. We got Roberts Racing and Restoration, Dave Roberts from Little Rock area. And then we've got Randy Tucker Construction, came on this year. He actually raced when I was growing up, and so that's pretty cool to have him on the car. We got, like I said, Bear Graphics, and my grandpa, he actually has a coin shop now, so he's on the car too, Doug's Coins. And so everybody helps out a lot, and we couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, and for everybody out there watching, support those who support racing. So if you're down there in the Central Arkansas area, definitely check these folks out and give them your business, because it's really important to support those who support racing. It really is.
I forgot one guy.
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
Greg Deathridge. He's been good to work with. He got
Super
me hooked up
guy.
with some glasses earlier this year, and got some
Yep,
sunglasses coming from him too. So
I ain't got no sunglasses. Well, he gave me these transitions.
Gotcha.
So and they work perfect. Because if I can't see without them, you know what I mean? So
Right.
if I put on I could get prescription sunglasses, but he hooked me up with these things, man. They work great. They're great.
Yeah.
I don't take them off except to go to sleep. That's it.
They're awesome. He's real easy to work with, so that's
Yeah,
good.
he is. Super good guy. So folks, smoking hot racing t-shirt. I'm guessing you'll always take more sponsorships.
Always.
That's what the sport's about. Because you're basically a rolling billboard. So it helps the businesses in the area or anywhere. If somebody wants to get their business or whatever they want on there, I'm guessing you have available sponsorship opportunities. You probably talk to people about it, and they can get a hold of you for that,
Right.
T-shirts, whatever they need on social media.
Right. Exactly. And
Okay.
the car may look full, but we can always make room.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so everybody, if you're interested in that, check out the links below. Get a hold of Geoff, and I think we'll probably end it there, Geoff.